Today on Unlimited, we're smashing stuff. We're at the junkyard and we're gonna crush a car. Today we're in one of my very favorite places. Well, actually we're in the engine bay of a Slant 6 Plymouth Valiant, which is one of my least favorite places. The bigger picture is that we're at the junkyard, and anybody who's got a classic car has spent some time at a junkyard. Today we're gonna get to see what goes on behind the scenes, the stuff you don't ever get to see. We're at U-Pick Parts in Sun Valley, California. It's part of Aadlen Brothers Auto Wrecking, and they're gonna show us the entire process of turning a junk car into parts that can be recycled into a new car. Sam Aadlen started a junkyard in the early 60s and his family's been running it ever since. U-Pick Parts is one of our favorite junkyards in Los Angeles. We've certainly spent a lot of time here pulling parts for our own cars. As you can expect from any junkyard that's close to Hollywood, California, there's a lot of weird movie stuff here. They film things here and there's all kinds of strange props and stuff just hanging around. So there's a lot more to look at than just the cars. Our host for today is General Manager Andy Aadlen, and he's going to show us around. Once a car has all its paperwork clear and is officially off the books as a viable automobile, it goes to a sort of waiting room where they drain a lot of the fluids and get the car prepped to go to the self-service yards. So the cars end up here. They're through the DMV. They're officially junk. So what's the first thing that we need to do?
Anything that we can get on the top of the engine, we manually do here with our workers. Come and take various fluids out from the top, and then after we've gotten most of the stuff that comes out of the top, then we move it over to our drain rack, in which we drain everything using gravity down into a collection tanks. Then we'll seal it up so that nothing leaks, and it goes into the self-service yard, and it will be available for parts.
What's next?
We're going to walk over to the drain station and you guys can see what we do and how we do it, and how we can try to keep this place as clean as we possibly can. We're going to go drain some fluids.
Working in a wrecking yard's a good job if you like driving a forklift. There's a lot of moving cars around. Once the cars are on a rack, they use gravity and a special pump to drain the fluids without spilling anything.
We start at the front with the coolant or antifreeze. We drain that first, then we move to the back of the car, drain all the gas, then we move to the middle of the car and cut the catalytic converter. And now he's attempting to drain the transmission. After the transmission, he'll move to the back of the car and drain the differential.
Environmental rules are really strict around wrecking yards. They even cover how the fluids are drained. In order to follow the rules, the guys at Aadlen use a special drill bit in the gas tank, in the third member, and in the radiator hose to get all of the fluids out. The downside to this is that it leaves a hole in those parts, so if you're buying a third member, you're going to have to do some welding. Once the cars are dry, they go out to the self-service yard. In a self-service yard, the cars are just sitting out there and you pay $2, go in the yard, you go inside with your tools, and then you can pull parts off of any car that's in there, take them to the front desk, pay for them, and they're yours. It's a really good way of finding cheap parts for your car, especially if you have the kind of car where they don't make reproduction parts and you can't find them anywhere else. We don't really need any parts today, so we're just sort of cruising around to find something recognizable.
So as you see on this Firebird, it's ready for part consumption. We put it elevated off the ground on stands so people can have access to it.
So all the stands, you guys make them out of scrap wheels, right?
Yes.
And they're solid and keep everything up, which is nice. Let's have a look and see if anybody's taken anything off of this.
Okay.
So it's still got an engine in it. If I needed that coolant overflow tank, which is the biggest one I've ever seen, it looks really good. It's not even yellowed or broken or anything. Let's look at what else is on it.
It looks like somebody got to the inside.
So about how long does each row stay here?
Typically we like to leave a row of cars for 30 days or so. If it's a desirable row of cars, older cars, more valuable, we'll leave them longer so that people have more of a chance to get what they want. There's some stuff that's not available anywhere. I had somebody come in for an early 70s Scirocco, which is not even a car you see anymore, clutch cable. He couldn't find a clutch cable anywhere in Europe, the internet, nowhere. We're the only ones who had a clutch cable for that car. As we go to the next step, we're going to remove the car from the yard. We're going to put it in an area to where we actually start ripping the car apart piece by piece to get some different metals and different aluminums and different materials that are in the car. We're going to go ahead and separate that and recycle it for a little bit more money, and then we're going to crush whatever's left and sell it to the mill, which has something called a shredder, which will then grind it up.
Even though the car's been through the self-service yard, there's still valuable parts and metals that can be pulled off and recycled separately. In order to do this, they bring out the big guns, an excavator fitted with a shear. If you have a great love for Volvos with rainbow painted hoods and the stars and bars from the Confederate flag, you might want to cover your eyes now. This is a weird car, but it's what's here, and we're gonna smash it. Enemies.
So as you see, there's all kinds of different materials that are inside this that we're going to go ahead and extract and resell as scrap metal.
So what happens to this now?
So after we've finished our manual labor part of it, of pulling all the wire out and pulling all the different materials out, we're going to go ahead and put it in our car flattener. It's called a crusher, and we're going to crush it and make it about 12 inches high. So you ready for that?
I'm ready. I like pancakes. This probably should have been a roadkill, because this kind of destruction is more up their alley than mine, but I kind of want to see it again. We just saw a Volvo get mated to a Chevy Astro van. They are one now, and they're going to go from here to a completely different site for the final process of automotive recycling. What is that?
That's a machine called a shredder. It's a giant machine that has these turning blades, and the cars get thrown into it, and it grinds them up and then spits out all the whatever's left off to the sides, and you see different materials to the left, to the right, to the middle. It's an interesting process, and that will get turned into new material again.
I learned a lot, and I got to see some stuff smashed, which is basically what I want out of life. So thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, anytime.